Hi guys, this is Anurag and in today's video we'll be discussing the proper way of using Java many-to-one, one-to-many and many-to-many annotations. So yeah, let's get started. Yeah, so these annotations are used to define the relationship between the different entities. Okay, and like most of the folks knows like what do they mean by one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-one, but they do not know like when should they use like one-to-many or many-to-one or a combination of these, or when should they use many-to-many. So that part will be covering today. Yeah, so here I have defined two classes, parent and child. So here one parent can have like many child, like many children. So that's why we'll define a list name as this child children. Okay, and we'll map it as one to many. So if you have confusion regarding this one to many also, like when should you use one to many, so one parent can have many children. So one parent can have many children, that's a one to many. Okay, so now we have defined here one to many. Now some folks think that we need to, when do we need to define here a many to one also, like many child can belong to one parent only. Okay, so that's why we need to define a parent. Okay, so when do we need to define this? So let's see the both the behavior when we are specifying a many to one in child also and when we are not. So what is JPA is expecting us to do? So here we have defined only this in parent, and let's go to application.locker properties. So here I have given this property, spring.jp.hibernate.ttl auto create drop. So what it does is whenever you put your application, it creates the new tables, and whenever you stop your application, it drops all those created tables. So that's what we want, and we want to see what are the tables that are being created in the backend. So let's run the application. So if you'll see here also in the console, you can see all the SQL commands. So for if you want to print these SQL commands also, you just need to specify these two properties. Spring.jp.show SQL2, it will show the SQL and you need to format the SQL2. So that's why this like this property you need to use. So now, so it's initialized. So let's go to a DB. So the DB name is colon apple. Now I'll open it again so that it fetches its current state. Okay, so yeah, so if we see the tables created are one is child. Okay, now the child has only ID, then after that parent has all the ID in age and name. Now if we see, it has created one more table, parent children, which basically contains the mapping between parent and children. So ideally, when we are specifying one to many relationship, we want it to be like this. Like if we want a foreign key in child ID should be there in the child. Okay, but here it has created one more table. So let's see the table info. So if we'll see, so it has created a parent-child table where parent ID is also like a foreign key, then children ID is also a foreign key. Okay, but one thing to notice is the children ID should be unique. Okay, so the children ID should be unique, means the parent ID. So here the parent ID can repeat, means parent ID. So this is the parent to child children mapping, but the child should be different always, because one child cannot belong to many parents. So that's why children ID should be unique. Okay, now let's see the other behavior. So let's say we are specifying many to one also here. So ideally, if you have like these kind of scenarios where you want one to many, I don't think having a separate table like is a good idea. Ideally, the mapping should be in there in the child only. Okay. Now rerun the application. So again, it completed. Now again, I'm going to open the same DB. So here, if you'll see, again the one more table has been created. Okay, now people will say, okay, still ManyToOne, having ManyToOne is also not solving the purpose. So the one thing here is, so here we need to explicitly specify one thing, that so this is the ManyToOne, means in child table we want a parent ID which is representing the ID of the parent. So that's why here we need to explicitly specify that we don't want a table, means this field is mapped by something else. So mapped by the field name here is parent, we need to specify the parent. Okay, now so automatically JPA detects, okay, like one-to-many relationship is for child class, then in child class it will look for this parent field. Okay, now directly also we can go here. So now if you run this again, now you won't be seeing this different table. So that's the main difference between, like, when should you use one-to-many and many-to-one, and when you want the ID to be there in the basically the child class, then in that case you need to write the map by also, otherwise it will definitely create a new table. The DB name, no. So now you see there's no, like, no third table. So if you'll see in child itself, there is a foreign key parent ID, okay, and the foreign key references the parent's ID. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to, so this shows the differences, like when to use one-to-many and many-to-one. Now come to many-to-many. Okay, so if we go here, so generally that third table, right, that mapping table, we should be creating that table in case we want a many-to-many relationship ideally. So if you'll see here, okay, so this is the parent child. So ideally what should be the case is, this table should contain a parent ID child ID mapping. Now if it's the case that one child can also have many parents, I know it looks funny, yeah, but like, let's say we are taking this case also, one child can have many parents and one parent can have many childs, then like having this kind of table makes sense, because parent ID also can repeat, children ID also can repeat. So we'll see it here. So let's say it's many to many. Okay, there's no need of map by here. uh, Make it also many to many. Okay, now we may need to make it as a list. Now again rerun the application. So here one thing also that can come into your mind is, if we are specifying many to many here, or let's say here, why do we need to specify it another place? So it's as per your suitability. So if in code you want a mapping to exist in child table also and parent both, then you can write in both. Or if you just want it to be here, like let's say here only, and by child you don't want to update that third table, then you can remove it from here. But ideally in these kind of cases it's better to have it in both the places, because if we want to add like a parent to the child list, then also we need to update the table. If to a parent we need to update the child list, then also that table will get updated from both the sides, like that table can get updated. So that's the functionality it provides. So now let's go again here. Okay, so if you'll see child parent and child parent, this, so if you'll see here, so there is no unique constraint now both the fields. So one child can also have many parents, one parent can have also like many childs. Okay, so that's why, like in this case, like when this kind of relationship you want, you should be using many to many. Okay, now if you think that, okay, in one to many case also it's going to create a third table, and you want this field to be present at child level only, let's say, then you can create that also. But no, in that case, so now in this case you can see one child can have many parent, okay, but one parent cannot have many child. So that's a the unique constraint would be there for like that unique constraint would be there for the parent field. So that's why we don't want that. So thanks a lot. That was like these were the differences between all these three annotations. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks.